Hey everybody, Xf here, bringing you yet another one of our lovely replays, or lovely if you like them. If not, just shut down your YouTube and your computer and I don't know, go out in town, get a beer. So this time we're having a nice matchup between our friend here, Faedia, which is a already a Master League player on the North American servers. He'll be spawning as the pink Zerg out here on the 8 o'clock position on Metalopolis, and his opponent, also a member of Clandroid, Bat. He's also, I think he's just Diamond at the moment. I'm not sure if he's already in Masters League or not. We'll just have to wait and see for that one. And he'll be spawning as the blue Protoss on this position right here. Already we can see a nice probe going to see this incoming Overlord or not. I'm not sure about that one. What do you think, Jim?
Be honest, I think he misclicked. I think he meant to send it up to the top and just send it over to the side. I find that kind of funny actually, because Bat used to brag to me about how he always spots overlords if they come into his base, and this one's like just chilling in the middle of his base and has no idea about it. I don't know, funny little things to me.
Yeah, one thing which I try to do whenever I'm versus toss in these positions is get an overlord, and I actually just kind of loop it around the nexus, not go over it. That way the toss doesn't see it until the last minute.
Okay,
cool.
Because
as you can see, he's already scouted both the cross positions and close positions before he even realized that I was there.
Okay, really cool. And I'm being an idiot and I forgot to make the introduction. With me tonight is going to be Gangster Jim. You just heard him speak after me. And of course Faedia, and he'll be commentating on his own gameplay. He's actually a really nice player which has a lot of strategies, and he understands the game a lot better than the most of us. And also I would like to point out the fact that Faedia, your overlord, did get spotted when it got, you know, closer to this pylon over here, but at the same time Bat was still, you know, going to the cross position with his probe and not scouting, not doing the right thing. Already we see a fast expo going down, or maybe I'm not sure where those minerals went to, because you had like 300 minerals and now they're gone.
I got a queen, and I should be getting speed any second now. Once I get 100. After a hatchery.
Okay, so until now everything is plain and cool. Cybercore gonna get that warp gate as fast as possible. Jim, what do you think about the game until now?
I like how Faye opens, to be honest. I think it's really safe against most Protoss game nowadays. Even though I'm like stuck on this hatch first build, but I tried this earlier today, and I really like this, you know, pull gas build, and then going into you're getting your hatch, because like if your opponent puts on early pressure like this, it's super easy to deal with. And you can see like if Bat does push out, he's really not going to be able to do much, because Faye can just produce enough lings to stop any pressure that he decides to put on, and it doesn't really cut in your economy too much. So I kind of like the opening that is being shown here by Faye.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't get an uber economy when you do this type of opening, but it really is a safe opening. Like, as you can see, I built a spine crawler in my main while the hatchery was building, and I transferred it down to my natural. This helps a lot versus any really fast stalker play, like where they get 2 gateways in the core, and then they chrono boost out 2 stalkers. And then now, one thing which I would like to point out is that I saw him, not only did he have a stalker, which was spotted by my overlord, but he also had a forward probe, like it looked like he was going to build a pylon, and he also was very aggressive with the Zealot. When you notice the Protoss getting that aggressive, there's a good chance that they're going 4-gate. So a really good response, or at least what I like to do, is make a lot of lings and rely on lings and spine crawlers to fend off 4-gates.
Okay, we're just noticing the fact that he does have a forward pylon, which will go down or get cancelled. I'm not sure if it gets cancelled. Maybe cancelled at the last time. But he does have these 2 pylons on the high ledge up here, which are pretty close to your to your access point, access to your base, and we see the 4 gate down. So at this point, you were just messing up Zerglings. I see you already have 25, 24, 23 now Zerglings, and producing your lair in yet another spine crawler. Although you did build one in your main and brought it to your expansion, tell us. Tell us your thoughts on how this works. Making a faster spine crawler and bringing it to your expo, while at the same time sending in a bunch of speedlings to mess around in the Protoss base.
Well, one of the things about having spine crawlers up is if you don't have the spine crawlers, you're really vulnerable with just lings, because then they can just make a bunch of zealots and then just overrun you. You really either need spine crawlers or roaches. I usually prefer spine crawlers just because they're a little bit safer, because if they get a bunch of sentries and you're going roaches, they can really just end you.
Yeah, sentry, that force field versus the roach can really stop any roach play, to be honest. If they go sentry heavy, roaches are kind of useless because they can just force field you out. And same with the lings, actually. If they go sentries and they can do some good force fields, they can just funnel your lings in, and that kind of sucks too. So if you see heavy sentry, you should probably go to Hydra or something along those lines where it has nice range and can still attack even though it's force fielded out.
Okay, so what I would like to add at this point, I'm guessing that Faedia actually saw the fact that Bat only had one Vespene Geyser up, one assimilator mining, and he was just capitalizing on that, getting more Zerglings, not taking up. He's just now getting a Baneling's Nest, or has been getting a Baneling's Nest for some time now, and he also put down a Creep Tumor, which should have helped, but sadly the next one got sniped right off as it tried to morph in. But although all in all, I think that this defense right here could be quite annoying, and I like how you position your Zerglings to the left of your spine crawlers over here. Putting them in a more secure position and waiting, just waiting for that Baneling's Nest to morph in. And I'm guessing after seeing the economy, you're still behind. I mean, you're still 3 harvesters behind, although it should start kicking in, the mineral advantage, because of the fact that you're on 2 bases and you are getting a bunch of Banelings right now. And sadly, this might not be the best timing. Jim?
Sorry. Sorry. I think that was actually pretty good held off by Faye there, to be honest. I mean, he did lose his whole army, but he still has 4 spines up. And, the second he lost his whole army too, you know how Zerg can just mass up into, a heartbeat anyways. So I really think Bat should have pulled back there after he saw that he only had just minimum units left, and Faye still had all of his spine crawlers left. I don't think that's a smart move, getting in there too. And also when he saw those Banelings morphed, he literally marched all of his sentries on top of them. He literally put them right on top of the morphing Banelings, and that just gave, Faye just completely ended all the sentries, which could have been really nice.
That was kind of a stupid move from him, I have to admit.
Yeah, and really the only way to deal with Banelings is proper force fields. That's the only answer to Zergling Baneling, at least early to mid game that Protoss has. And one of the things you have to remember about Zergling Baneling is if you are making Zergling Baneling to fend off a warp gate, you have to remember to hit the Zealots with the Banelings and the Stalkers with the Zerglings. Like you'll notice when I did actually hit them in the battle, I got a bunch of clumps of Zealots together with the Banelings, and I tried my best to get my Zerglings past the Zealots and have my Zerglings take out the Stalkers and the Sentries.
Okay, so at this point you're kind of engaging him right here near the Xel'Naga Tower, and you pretty much win. Also, your economy is doing better. Also, the units lost tab is showing that Bat has lost almost double the resource amount than you did. Now, I'm guessing that he overcommitted trying with that 4 gate. Generally, I'm not a good player. Everybody knows that, but I'm not a good player. I know that if my 4 gate fails in the beginning, then it's a sure bet that I should just try to only keep pressure on and map control. But it's a sure bet that I should be expanding, which Bat is doing right now. But I'm guessing that it could be a bit too late, as he's lost a lot of resources, and at this moment you're sitting on 53. Oh my goodness, 53 Zerglings with speed, and 10 Banelings with speed as well, and this is looking to be quite bad for Bat.
Yeah, right now, Bat has absolutely no control over the map. Basically, Fae has him contained, and even if he pushes out with that army, Fae's army, unless he gets like really nice force fields going, is just gonna completely get rid of anything he sends out. So right now, Fae's looking in a really good position. You could probably just sit back at his base and just drone up like crazy, maybe even take another expansion, not really even have to worry about anything. But no, he's not. He's looking to end it, adding 26 more Zerglings into the game, which, I mean, is fine, because he could really end this right now if he wanted to, but he can't engage up that ramp because of sentries and force fields.
Yeah, well, I'm actually fully saturated in my main and natural release for Zerg, and one of the things that like you kind of have to remember is even if you're just like 1.5 bases on top of the toss, 1.5 base Zerg is still better than a 1 base Protoss. You know, maybe against Terrans might not be true, but against Protoss, that's one of the key things to remember about 4-gate. Is you really don't want to over drone, because as long as you have a very slight drone advantage, you know you're going to be in really good shape.
Yes, well, at this point I see that Bat is trying to get his expansion, but you are morphing in 24 Banelings, which is going to be quite annoying. Also, you guys might be a second or two ahead of me because of the fact that my computer is a bit slower. Doesn't matter. So the last engagement, a bunch of Banelings coming in, nice force fields, but they're not going to delay the inevitable, which is a really bitter defeat, I must say. At this point, you're just going up the ramp and probably are going to make it in the base and destroy what's left of his economy. Also, another 28 Zerglings. So really nice play, really nice. I mean, you had composure, you just kept on making Zerglings and Banelings, and at this point you knew that there was nothing that Bat had, either economically or unit-wise, tech-wise, to actually properly counter your mass Zergling Baneling build. So it was, all in all, this was quite a nice game, and I'm expecting a GG right now from Bat. Maybe we should do a couple of you know, end game comments, or you know, strategies, or how to avoid this as a Protoss, or maybe how to help, you know, lesser players, because we're not all of us are Master League players. What this game should teach us, you know, the normal players, to do in this situation if we are Zerg and we're facing a 4-gating Protoss. And there's a GG.
I personally think, you know, if you're Zerg and you're facing 4-gate, I would copy exactly what Fae did, to be honest. Throw down some spines, make Zerglings, and then react upon, you know, like what they're making. Like if they're gonna push in with a lot of stalkers, and obviously stick with the lings. They're gonna push in with a lot of roaches. If they're gonna push in with a lot of zealots, you might wanna, and like no sentries, then go ahead and throw down a roach warren. And if they're gonna push in with a very sentry heavy build, I would probably still stick with the Zerglings and just let them tank for your spine crawlers, but also don't engage unless you're in range of your spine crawlers.
Okay. Something that I would like to add, just a moment, Faedia. You just correctly said the fact that you need to get those spine crawlers up, and you need to get some Zerglings and maybe some Banelings or roaches, depending on which build and army composition the Protoss has. But I'm actually sure that, you know, some of the lesser players, they really play with like fear in their hearts. Am I doing this right? Am I building enough spine crawlers? Because if we look at Faedia's game, it was quite balanced. I mean, the first attack, Bat actually lost everything. Faedia also lost everything, but he still had the free spine crawlers up. So this was kind of an fine exchange, an equal exchange, allowing Faedia to actually keep his economy game, also not running really behind the Protoss player. So this is also quite important if you're trying to do this build. stay composed, and don't overcommit. Don't build 6 or 7 spine crawlers, or don't just build 50 Zerglings and you end up losing because you thought that would help and it didn't. Or on the other side, don't over drone and get stomped by the 4-gate. Go ahead, Faedia.
Those are definitely some really wise words. Like expanding upon that, one of the good ways you can stay composed is by constantly scouting. I was always aggressive with my first few lings, so I always knew exactly what he was making. If you see a toss making a lot of Zealot stalkers, especially if you know they only have 1 gas, there's a really, really, really good chance they're going to be very aggressive with it, and they're going to try to push in. And you're going to have to make a bunch of lings, and then whenever you feel like your army is big enough to crush theirs, you make some drones. Like that's what happened last game. I made a bunch of Zerglings. I kind of pressured him a little bit. I saw the size of his army, and I went back home and I made 8 drones, and then I started making Zerglings again, and he eventually pushed, and then I fended off the army, and then from there it was, when he lost that first big bulk of his units, it was pretty much over. Now, as far as what Protoss can do a little bit better, one of the mistakes that Bat made in this game was, I opened gas first and then pool, and whenever someone opens gas first pool, 4-gate's fine, but you can't really apply extremely early pressure. He sent his very first Stalker and his very first Zealots out. You really don't want to do that. You want to kind of stay a little bit defensive until your warp gates are done, and then you push out. And when those warp gates are done, then you start warping in tons of units and you push really fast, making sure that you have a forward pylon to be able to warp in reinforcements instantly. And that's really how you do it. When he lost his first few units really early, that definitely put his warp gate a little bit behind. In fact, I wouldn't have been able to make those 7 or 8 drones if I hadn't have killed those first few units, because a Protoss really needs to have a meaty-sized army to be effective, whereas Zerg wants everything in small numbers. Zergs don't want to face big armies versus big armies. They want medium to small armies versus medium to small armies, because it's just their units aren't very efficient in large numbers because they don't have high range.
Okay, that's a pretty nice explanation. Actually prove that. And also something that I might add, and that maybe cost Bat the game, as you said, is the fact that he actually he spawned in cross-air position to you, which on Metalopolis I'm guessing is kind of, well, it's not the well, maybe with pylons on this ledge right here, which I'm pointing out right now, maybe with the pylons that he built over here, it should have been like the shortest rush position on this map. And at this point, I'm guessing that building the forward pylon with that probe at the Xel'Naga tower and trying to keep that tower for as long as possible was one of his big mistakes, because he obviously gave away his strategy and all that he's trying to do.
Definitely.
Okay, so thanks Jim for I appreciate you doing this with us. Thanks Faye for your lovely tactics and I don't know, explanations of your matchup.
All right, no problem.
No problem, man.
Okay, and thank you for everybody out there watching and listening. Please hit us back with some feedback. And also, I've been forgetting to do this in the last replays. Please visit us at Clandroid. The website is called what's it called? SC2 Clandroid.
I believe it's at Clandroid StarCraft SC2.com.
Exactly, Clandroid SC2.com. I actually forgot. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.